My bad, y'all. It's gonna be it's a tough night right tonight, man. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. I gotta go get a coffee, man. Man, share this live, man. So first and foremost, I need to apologize. I gotta apologize to all my supporters, man. For years over here, I've been the voice of reason, the voice of real. I never selected politics. I can say that. Until today. I did a video on Pug, man. And I selected politics, y'all. I selected politics. I don't want to be the voice of who rat and who don't rat, who not a rat in Baltimore, y'all. I don't want to be that, man. I don't want to be that. And I know somehow, some kind of way, well, I ain't gonna say some kind of way. That video I did on Sosa kind of like thrust me into that spotlight. Yeah, but I don't want that shit. Like I told y'all, man, like I said in the video I did earlier. But that video on Sosa, yo, that shit wasn't about Sosa being rat. You know, it just happened that Sosa was telling. Like this situation with Pug is different. Like the sole purpose of people releasing that paperwork was just to say that Pug was a rat. I'm not really into that, y'all. I ain't really into that. You know, like I told y'all, yeah, I don't. I don't know, y'all. So I did a video earlier, y'all, on BikerBoy Pug, man. Everybody in Baltimore know who BikerBoy Pug is. My mother even know who BikerBoy Pug is, and she don't know nothing about that type of shit. Just because of who he meant or what he means to Baltimore or has meant to Baltimore for so many years. You know what I mean? You talking about 2012, 2013, 12 o'clock boy. You understand what I'm saying? So yesterday, paperwork popped up online. Basically, you know, saying Pug told. I did a video earlier, yo, after talking to Pug, yo, throughout the day. You know, and in my video, I ain't keep it real, man. I didn't. I ain't keep it all the way real, yo. Because in my real life, I don't select the politics in my real life. But when it come down to like, with this situation, because this is the only situation I think I ever did that on, I just didn't see the need. Like I just did the video and let people decide. You feel me? Y'all decide. I ain't really want to put my personal opinion in it because even with the video I said, everything still stands. Like, yo, you don't just put out no one sheet of paperwork and start calling a nigga the rat behind that. You gotta get more. You gotta have, like when people was doing, like when I dropped the Sosa video, it was people saying we need more. In that video, I ain't think I needed more, you know. But when the paperwork first dropped on Pug, man, I can't call a nigga rat off one piece of paper, you know. Even though he said he implicated people in crimes, I still need more just to provide some type of context to it. Now, in that video, I just dropped, I ain't calling him a rat. I ain't say Pug told. Because nobody got arrested. But like niggas been telling me, and like I already know, that shit don't matter. It don't matter if niggas got arrested. Niggas could have. Niggas could have. And in that sense, Pug did bad. And I think Pug knows that. And I talked to Pug like, yo, bro, like, you should have never said. Like, I think if Pug would have just been like, go ahead, go, go, go. I think if Pug would just been like, yeah, I sold the bike for 800 or 400. I gave you 8. I think if he just would have said that, niggas would have been like, all right, yeah, man, he did too much, yo, but it is what it is. They already had that information. It's already documented, all that shit. Yeah, man, everything is everything. But when Pug started going into, when the police asked Pug, how'd you get there? How'd you get to the house? And he started explaining how he got to the house. That's when he crossed the line, y'all. Crossed the line. And it's like, damn, yo, I don't want to be the person to motherfucking assassinate a nigga character. You feel me? I start feeling like I told. You know what I mean? Like doing this video and speaking on this shit, it put me in a fucked up position. Because I stand on my word, yo, and credibility is key with keeping G News. And I can't sacrifice my credibility off of your decision making. Whatever I did, I gotta stand on that. And that goes for everybody. You feel me? That goes for everybody, man. Pug should have never mentioned that boy name, man. Now he says, yo, that's not what actually happened, but yo, none of that matters, bro. Even if it was a lie, bro. Even if it was a lie. Even if he wasn't the driver. You didn't sell a bike. You should never have told them people that, man. And it's really that simple. You know? I had conversations with my homeboys before I put the video out. He was getting on me. Like, come on, bro, yo. You know what it is, bro. Because he kept saying, yo, he a rat. I'm like, yo, you can't really call him a rat. Yeah, he made some statement, but a rat, what means that some people got arrested. So he like, well, he told. You know, it's a fine line between the two. And he did tell. He did tell. And him being 18 ain't no excuse. Davon from where? Him being 18 ain't no excuse. What it is? Oh, it's Davon. Oh, what it do, bro? That shit crazy, y'all. Yeah, but I don't want to be that guy, yo. If it come time to another rapper or a person of influence snitching in Baltimore, man, I don't want to be the guy, yo. I don't want that. Somebody else can have that shit, man. That ain't never been my focus on this internet ever. Like I said, the social shit just was it was just so shocking because it's like, damn, bro, you out there all in Alabama, y'all, you out here implicating motherfuckers in crimes and shit. What's up, bro? Like, what the fuck is you doing, bro? Especially to be who he said he was. You know what I mean? I hope I don't miss it. Can't be doing that. Fucking some coughing here. Other situation a little different. Bro, I didn't tell you I made the news the other day. Yeah, what happened? Calling the nigga a rat. Yeah. That shit was on the news, bro. case in Baltimore, a dude locked up in Alabama, snitching on niggas. Yeah. Whole time, paper was sealed. I ain't know. It was like a sealed federal paperwork. Somehow I got it. Did a video on it. That bitch went crazy. Made the news. All type of shit. It's on my page. You gotta tap in, man. Man, what the fuck? Yeah, y'all gonna charge me for this? It's only a little bit in there. Yo, Rick came back and Dirk was murdered. He right there. Rick came back and hit Dirk was murdered. He the right time again. Yo, but what's the case? They try to do anything to get this case postponed. Hey Alvin, send me the paperwork. We ready getting all that shit. Yeah, send me the paperwork. Cause we got a lot to talk about outside of this shit. I just had to, get that on record for real. Cause I start feeling bad, knowing who I am and what I stand on. And it's like I ain't be who I am on that video. You feel me? Just because, like I said, I ain't trying to be the guy that motherfucking. I don't want to be the Baltimore snitch exposed. I could be the Atlanta rat exposed. You know what I mean? I could be the motherfucking Texas rat exposed. I ain't trying to be the Baltimore one. That's only a half a cup of coffee, bro. That's all you need? No, I need some black mountains. You ain't got them fake ones, yo. You ain't got no regular singles. You ain't got no singles? Yeah, there they go. What they wood tip? You ain't got the plastic singles? You're on sale, dude. What they, 99 cents? Give me 3 of them, bro. So is it real? How much is it? 318. You ain't charging for the cost, dude. No. Yeah, I don't know. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I think it might be too late though to hit Dirk with another superseding indictment and add a new charge. The last superseding indictment, they wasn't adding a new charge. They were just separating the same charge between two people. So it ain't had to be no further preparation for that. If you talk about superseding them again and adding a new charge, they got to prepare more, and it's too close to trial for that. So maybe that's why he deleted it. Maybe he got some false information. But yeah, though, y'all. So Yeah, Pug did bad, yo. I think Pug know he did bad, man. I talked to Pug, yo. Hey, he know he did bad, man. He know he shouldn't have sat down and said nothing to them people, man. He should have did the same thing Charlie did. And like I told y'all, yo, yo, especially when you young, yo, when you young, you think you can outsmart them people, yo. You can't. You can't outsmart them, yo. The best thing to do is lawyer up. That's the best thing to do, yo. Don't go in that bitch and say nothing to them people, man. You feel me? And if you do decide to waive your Miranda rights, yo, you do not answer no questions about anybody else, yo. That's the golden rule, yo. Once they ask Pug about anybody else, he poses, you don't answer questions about other people, yo. You don't do that shit in them rooms, man. You don't do it. You don't answer questions about other people, and you don't put other people's names in your story either. That's two things you never do in an interrogation room. You really shouldn't even talk. But if you decide to, because people do decide to, think they can talk their way out of it even though you can't. Two things that you never should do. Add people in your story. Don't put nobody in your alibi. Because they're going to grab them people and they're going to question them people. And more than likely, them people don't know your alibi. So that's going to fuck you over. And if you got co-defendants, you don't answer no questions about where were they, what did they do. You don't answer none of that, man. If you answer any question, you only answer questions pertaining to me. I can tell you where I was. I can tell you what I did. I can't tell you nothing about yo, man. That's the fastest way to become a rat, y'all. I'm telling you. It's the fastest way to become a rat. Or a snitch. And I think just with this Pug shit, yo, it was so motherfucking petty. And that's another thing. It's like with the Sosa shit, yo, we talking about, major crimes. Shit that motherfuckers that never see their kids again over. With this shit, it's like, damn, bro, you wasn't even facing nothing. Nobody was. We talking about stealing a dirt bikes. We ain't talking about nobody getting duct tape, hog tied. Nobody got smacked with a pistol. It wasn't no firearms involved. It wasn't nothing, yo. We just talking about a simple burglary. And it wasn't even felony level. It wasn't like it was theft over 5,000. It was something minor, so it was just like, yo, do I really wanna like go all in on yo when it's a minor case. It's a minor case. Nothing he said got anybody arrested. And I just decided not to. But I felt bad, because I know what people come to my platform for. People come to my platform because I'm real and I'm authentic and I ain't got no cut cards. And it's like, for this video, it's like I failed to uphold to that standard. So that's why I had to come back and be like, yeah, you did bad. Did bad. Luckily for him, and like I told Pug, yo, it's gonna be some people that fuck with you. It's gonna be some people that don't. You know what I mean? And you're gonna have to deal with that, bro. You're gonna have to deal with that. I say, yo, won't you see if you can get, because he keeps saying he didn't say none of these things. And I'm like, Pug, like, it's hard to hear, you can say you ain't say it all you want, yo, but the document saying you did. Now, somehow, he talked about trying to get the audio or the video. If you can get that, and that shit disproves what this paperwork say, yo, get that shit, yo. I'd be glad the motherfucker run that shit for you. You feel me? You know, because I come to defense of people, yo, before I ever slander them. Y'all know that for the people that been over here. You know, that's what I do. I come to Baltimore's defense before I ever slander some Baltimore, anything Baltimore. You feel me? But it's like at the same time, you can't defend. You can't defend it indefensible. You know what I mean? You can't defend it indefensible, man. Can't defend it indefensible, man. And you know, I think he know. He know he did bad. He know he was wrong. He know he should never said nothing to them people. Should have never mentioned that man name. And it don't matter. It don't matter if yo don't think you know yo still fuck with you. That's good. That's great. You know you ain't sending him to jail. But if we talking about the streets and how the streets gonna view it and and you know what you sign up for once once you fuck with this street shit, you know that you wasn't supposed to say nothing to them people, man. And if you did, you damn sure wasn't supposed to mention nobody's name. Damn sure wasn't supposed to do that under no circumstances. Under no circumstances should you be in them interrogation rooms and mention somebody else's name. Where the fuck my black and mouse just go at? What the fuck they drop? I'll come back out and get it. What's up, Benji? We ready to get in front of the computer, yo, because we got a lot more to talk about. I just, I had to do this because when I did it, when I put it out, I knew it was wrong. I just didn't like how it was so many people and blogs, you know, who out here like openly calling yo a rat for one without no details, for two without the full scope of the situation, and for three, you niggas ain't even qualified, yo. That be my issue with Seti Nash and them niggas. Niggas ain't even qualified to be pulling nobody paperwork, calling nobody no motherfucking rat, nigga. Ain't never been in that interrogation room, man, for motherfucking 7 hours, nigga. They trying to wait you out. I mean, they trying to wait you out, hoping if they keep you in that bitch long enough, you'll tell them something. Ain't never been in that, man. To be out here calling nobody no motherfucking snitch. But they trying to bring everything back. YG. I see what's going on with Smirk. Shit, man. Maybe this shorty way out. You know what I mean? Everything happened for a reason, man. Maybe it could be his way out. Way to do some different things. I don't know what he's doing. I'm just saying, if he is, this could be the way to get shit back right. Still young. Why the fuck do this shit always keep doing this, man? You gotta be quiet, bro. What's going on with Dirt? All right, let's see what's going on with this the Dirk paperwork. Alvin just sent me. I thought they already had a fourth indictment the other day. I thought the fourth indictment was what they was trying to do with the when they separated the counts and made it two counts of at this time to this fourth superseding indictment. They trying anything on Dirk, man. God damn, they just won't give this boy a break. Hold on. You go, shut the fuck up, bro. Go ahead. Y'all see this? All right. Defendant Dirk Banks, also known as AKA Lord Dirk, Blood, Smirk, and Lord Dude, DeAndre, OTF, and all them. In or around 2010, defendant Banks formed an organization called Only the Family, or OTF, among other things. All right, we know all of that. We know all of that. The Banks Gang Enterprise, including its leadership, members, what the fuck, and associates, constitute an enterprise, as that term is defined in Title 18, United States Code Section 1959B2 and 1961-4. That is, a group of individuals associated in fact, although not a legal entity, engaged in, and the activities of which affect the interstate and foreign commerce. The Banks Gang Enterprise constituted an ongoing organization whose members functioned as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objectives of the enterprise, as further alleged below. All right, we already know all that. How many pages is this? 32? All right, so let's get to the factual basis. So this was filed August 31st, 4 days ago. All right, so what is this? Defendant Banks, Wilson, Houston, and Lindsay, and others, known and unknown to the grand jury, including various members and associates of the Banks Gang Enterprise, engaged in the following acts of violence and furtherance of the enterprise: the attempted murder. I can't do it like this because it's back down. Travel to the location to kill rivals. Legal drugs for Warden. Violence committed for the benefit of the Banks Gang Enterprise. Defendant Banks funded the purchase of controlled substance for distribution in, among other things, Chicago and Georgia by members, associates, and affiliates of the Banks Gang Enterprise to secure the members, associates, and affiliates' loyalty and willingness to provide continued protection, and to engage in violent acts against rivals of banks and the Banks Gang Enterprise. All right, let's get to the factual basis. The attempted murder of victim one in Atlanta. On or about February 5th, 2019, by among other things, defendant Banks DB, and co-conspirator 6, which was motivated by a dispute over the purchase of a stolen car. Yo, how is this in the paperwork, Alvin? They already said this not in the paperwork. Yeah, but didn't the judge say they had to separate this? So why are they bringing this back up? I thought the judge told them they couldn't use this evidence in this trial. So why are they still talking about what happened in Georgia? I don't understand this. Okay. Judge ain't gonna allow this back in, man. Yeah, judge not allowing this back in. As a revenge for the killing of DB, the conspiracy to commit murder, and the attempted murder of TB in Blackshear, Georgia, on about May 2nd, 2021, by, among other things, members of the Banks gang enterprise, including defendant Banks and Grant. As revenge for killing of DB, the conspiracy to stalk and murder TB, the stalking and attempted murder of TB, and the murder of SR in Los Angeles, California, on about August 19th, 2022. By, among other things, defendant Banks, Wilson, Houston, Lindsay, Grant, and Jones, and co-conspirators 2 through 6, through phone calls, text communications, social media posts, and musical lyrics, members and associates of the Banks gang enterprise, including defendant Banks and Wilson, would I boast about and celebrate violence committed by members, associates, and affiliates of the Banks gang enterprise, and taunt and disrespect rivals of defendant Banks and the Banks gang enterprise, including by mocking rivals who had been killed. Means and methods of the enterprise. Yeah, this is the same. This is nothing new, yo. Count two, A through C. Objection of conspiracy. So they keep trying to hit him with this conspiracy charge because they don't have no real case on anything else. Yeah, Dirk tried his butt. Yeah, this is bogus, man. What I don't know. The feds is scrambling, man. Like, what the fuck is they like? What are they doing? I'm confused about this. Like, this doesn't make any sense. What they just trying to change some language up or something? Like, it got like what they just like. I don't understand this. man, this is bullshit. They got 20 overacts. They just trying to convict them on something. I think what they need 3 of these overacts to find them guilty of armed conspiracy. 22 overacts, y'all. God damn. And we still don't know where this car is at. Because these are two pictures together. Like this is not all one picture. So we don't know how far back these cars is from this one. You understand what I'm saying? This is misleading as a bitch. And they could be 2 lights back for all the fuck we know. For all we know, they could be 2 lights back, y'all. And in that case, was they really following them? Because this is the type of games that they play. Look, we got them following them. Then you find out in court that them niggas was a mile apart. You heard me? Them niggas could have turned off some motherfucking way. This is a new picture right here. We ain't never seen that picture before. Have we? I haven't. God damn. Oh, they got new evidence. This new right here, Albert. Okay, this is new. This new. On August 19th, 2022, defendant Banks Wilson, Houston, and Jones, and co-conspirator 2 flew back. We know that. On August 20th, 2022, in a text message to the number 9595 number, co-conspirator 3 sent defendant Banks a social media post with individuals mocking TB's reaction to seeing SR's body removed from the Escalade, which was broadcasted on viral news coverage. So, I mean, that don't mean anything. A lot of people sent that shit to people. I probably sent that motherfucker to shit to people too. I'm talking about that text message. On August 21st, 2022, defendant Grant traveled to a Verizon wireless store located in Woodland Hills, California to purchase new burner cellular phones, including a cellular phone number with a phone number ending in. How the fuck they get the burner phones? Somebody tell them. Stop using the phone. Deesky beat his murder, he gonna be more dangerous. What the fuck does that mean? You knew about that. Just afraid to snitch. Co-conspirator replied, beware of everybody, not just the suspected government informant. On August 4th, 2023, in the same group text message, we won't break. They can tell them whatever. Niggas out here already playing with them folks' name. Defender Banks reference the Banks gang enterprise violence, stating, crazy blood, niggas don't slide or hurt motherfuckers, leaving it all up to us. That's incriminating text message. Cloud Kings. was in the indictment when he got severed. Yo, they try to postpone the case. That's the fuck they trying to do. The feds is playing the game where if they can hold them niggas long enough, they think somebody else gonna crack. That's what they trying to do, man. It's obvious. Like, who the fuck indicts a week before trial? When the fuck Dirk trial start? Ain't it like August 11th or something? When does rapper Lord Dirk trial start?
According to thesource.com, the federal trial involving rapper Lil Durk has been postponed once again, with proceedings now scheduled to begin on August 25th, 2026.
Yo, the judge not gonna let them do that. Even though it's the same language. I mean, it's the same shit. Just, you know, he might let them get away with it. They just changed the language up. Have you seen a New Life vase out in Nolan Wells' memory? I don't even know what that is, Scotty. Yo, but have y'all seen this Cartel Bo situation? Like, yo, this nigga Cartel Bo is the dumbest nigga in the fucking world. Look at this shit. Yo, keep getting caught up with that dumbass bitch. End up getting a no bail. And the crazy thing about it, yo, I think this shit might be all a play. Like, you be surprised. I mean, I think he gonna go to jail on this play though. But you be surprised at things people is willing to do to facilitate a play. Like, I'm telling you, it's strange as a motherfucker.
About whether rapper Cartel Bo should be granted bond during an 11D hearing earlier today. Brown's attorney argued the defense presented new evidence supporting bond and urged the public to wait until all of the evidence is considered before reaching conclusions.
Again, the complainant in this case is a grown woman. One of the things that I asked, one of the things that my investigator asked is anyone forcing you to do this? And she stated no, right? So any affidavits that were signed, and you're right, I am relying on that because that is actual evidence, right? If a person does not want to go forward with the case, they have a right to say that they don't want to go forward with it.
Man, they're not. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think this was all a play. Yo, they're not gonna keep allowing them to do that. Anybody that knows niggas that been through that type of situation, yo, they is not gonna keep allowing the girl to go to court and say, I do not want to press charges. Eventually, the state is gonna pick it up, and that might happen this time. Cause this shit been going on for too long. This fucking reality show that they got going on in their real life.
The case. I am relying on a video where she is recanting, saying that these things did not happen. I would be foolish not to, as a defense attorney.
Dr. Matthews pointed to testimony that the initial 911 call reported a missing person before a later call alleged a kidnapping.
That right there was kind of sketchy as well because you called at first saying that it was a missing person. Then you waited 3 hours later and then you called again saying that someone was being kidnapped. Something is not passing the smell test.
There's also, from learning in court, an ongoing custody battle. And so that's motivation alone. But whenever he gets upset or she gets upset, 911 is being called, and we're weaponizing law enforcement and the criminal justice system to play a role in making us more successful in our custody desires with an ongoing family court matter. Also, something else we learned in this case, and this is important, and I'm surprised you didn't raise the question, sir, as we all heard, she was harassed and intimidated by law enforcement. And she said it over and over again. I felt harassed. I felt threatened. I felt intimidated. She even went on to say that they were trying to force me to say and do something I did not want to do. And I told them multiple times I didn't want to do it. The words of the victim on video. This is not something she wrote down. These are her words. She says, I was never threatened. She says, I was never assaulted by him. And she says, I told law enforcement that, but they kept trying to get me to change the narrative. So it appears to me that law enforcement enforcement has an axe to grind with Mr. Brown beyond just this case because of how they handled the victim in this case. She told them, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't need to go. They forced her to go. She asked paramedics, do I have to go? I don't want to go. Then she gets to the hospital and she says, I keep telling you over and over again, I don't need a rape kit. I was not raped. She didn't make the 911 call. Somebody else made the 911 call. And come to find out, the person who made the 911 call has a connection to the custody battle.
You see what I'm saying? They're not keep playing with y'all. They playing with the system, y'all. They playing with the system to fucking gain social media fame. Or these courts ain't ready to keep playing this game with this motherfucking people, man. I think both of them slow and stupid. Because why would you even want to keep playing like this? They want to come home and do interviews about it. Fake break up. Like, come on, man. Tighten up. Shit goofy.
A lot. This is a lot of drama. And it's not passing the smell test. Yes, there's some previous cases between the two, because obviously there's a serious toxic relationship. But if we're allowing people to weaponize the system whenever they get mad with their spouse or the person they're in a relationship with to use law enforcement as leverage, that appears to be what it is, because these cases come with these same two, and then she turns around and says, okay, well, no, nothing happened. I changed my story, because she's also admitting she's afraid that she could get in trouble possibly for making these statements to law enforcement. But when we first saw it on the media as it was presented, we thought this man was a monster. We thought this man was somebody out kidnapping people, handcuffing them, keeping them locked in a closet. But no, she's admitting drugs were being used. She's admitting alcohol was being consumed of her own free will. There's a lot to this case that needs to come out. But I'm surprised that the prosecutors in this case rushed to come with these kind of charges. This is despicable. They should be a lot more professional than that and more meticulous in cases than this. I don't see a snowflake chance in hell of them taking this case to trial. You cannot let a jury hear all what we heard. And how many of you would hear everything that we just heard and come back with a guilty verdict after hearing both sides that we did today? I don't think so.
A Harris County judge heard arguments today about whether rapper...
Nigga's stupid. He need to stop giving. Hope whenever he gets home, he just stop getting attention. Cause that's what fuels this. Attention fuels this nonsense. Oh, we gotta talk about this fuck boy. See this sick bastard? This is why. Do y'all see this? Sydney Starr has been arrested for allegedly sleeping with a 14-year-old in Atlanta. This is why, for the longest time, these people, this was viewed as a mental illness. That's what this was at one point, y'all. For the young generation. This was a mental problem. These type of people always did these type of things. Always. Historically. Because something is wrong mentally. Like, are we not talking about a girl that like girls? Or a guy that like guys? We're talking about a guy that thinks he's a girl that like guys. Yeah, that is different, man. These people always did this. Am I lying, Kenneth? These people was always associated to this type of behavior, y'all. Who old enough to remember? I ain't lying. Always. Shit is fucking crazy. Sydney Starr arrested. Sick motherfuckers. People are sick, man.
Forming my LLC was quicker than editing this video. I just went to taylorbrand.com, entered my LLC state, added my business name, answered a few questions, and that's it. The biggest...
And now in 6, a reality TV star is now facing multiple felony charges in Fulton County, accused of sex crimes involving a child. Hapeville police arrested Sydney Favors yesterday at the Embassy Suites. This is just minutes away from the airport. Officers say that her arrest is now tied to a sexual assault involving a child.
Why the fuck is he calling? This is not a her, yo. This is a fucking. That look like a her to y'all? It's a fucking man. Hey, yo, we gotta tighten up in this country, man. Yo, this bitch geeking. Motherfucking her. I need a longer video. Oh my god, say Nash. Jesus Christ. Full receipts. I don't really like listening to other people. We can fucking probably Google it. Fucking sick bastard. Sydney Star arrested.
I got the latest for Star, Sydney Favors. The first headline, from All Hip Hop, is Sydney Star faces life in prison after child molestation arrest.
According to the warrant, Star Leslie told officers that a tall, slender black man approached her in a hotel lobby, said he was cute, and claimed the man was 18. He said they went to his room, and she performed blank, who was later identified as a minor, 16. The warrant alleges she described the act as consensual. Fucking sick bastard, man. We letting these motherfuckers out here adopt children and shit. So it says Sydney Star remains in custody after Georgia authorities arrested the reality TV personality on serious criminal charges. Newly released police records provide more details about what officers said happened during the investigation. The case remains in its early stages, and the allegation has not been proven in court. The incident is still under investigation. According to an incident report from the Hapeville Police Department obtained by TMZ, officers responded to the Embassy Suites Hotel after an employee reported that someone had sexually assaulted a minor. Before speaking with Star, police met with the minor and the minor's parents at the hotel. The investigation later resulted in Star's arrest on sodomy and child molestation charges. Authorities said at this stage the charges remain allegations. The police report says Star told officers that a tall black man, we already got that. After speaking with Star, police detained her and conducted a pat-down search. During the search, an open condom fell from Star's clothing. According to the report, officers said they found another condom in one of her pockets. The items are part of evidence collected during the arrest. According to police, the alleged victim was younger than 16 years old. Officers said Star admitted to performing. Star remains in custody. Sick bastard. Let's see if Google gonna keep it real. Is there a history in hold on.
According to Wikipedia,
Is there a history in trans in child pedophilia?
here is what I found.
Is there a history between transsexuals and child pedophilia?
Here is what I found.
They're not going. They ain't gonna keep it real. What the data says. fucking restrooms, man. Stupid. Yeah, yo, that shit fucked up, yo. It's fucked up, yo, because they really pushed that shit like that shit was okay and acceptable. Like I said, they be letting them motherfuckers raise children and shit. Look, in our sample of transgender and non-binary U.S. adolescents, the 12-month prevalence of sexual assault was 25.9%, substantially higher than the national rates of 15% among cisgender high school girls and 4% among cisgender boys. Fucking cisgender, get the fuck out of here. That's cis means straight. They still talking about fucking restrooms. Man, that's not what I'm looking for, man. That's some more Democratic bullshit. I'm not reading that shit no more. Well, we need some Republicans to do a study on this shit. I'm telling you, that's what I always I believe that shit growing up. That shit was a thing. Alright, y'all. The fuck away from this topic. Keefe D did an interview, man. Keefe D trial coming up too. I think that's gonna be a trial to watch. For real. Keefe D interview. I think that is gonna be a trial to watch. For real. Because Keefe D is a dumbass.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118
Man, dude, bro.
for car
That shit
insurance.
not normal.
That's how much I was paying. Okay, I picked up the car a few months ago and watched.
Dwayne Keefe D. Davis speaking with investigator Vanessa Murphy. A quick note, our team was not allowed to put a microphone on Davis due to security. That's why we've included subtitles.
The trial surrounding the murder of rap legend Tupac Shakur nearly 30 years ago is just days away. We were given the rare opportunity to sit down with the man at the center of it all, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, face to face while he waits here in jail. Did you have anything to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I wasn't in a matter. I wasn't in a matter, period.
Do you regret the book and the interview?
Yeah, I was just after the money, and they said I was covered. I did it for the money.
Yo, hey, I ain't gonna lie,
And,
yo. Yo, Keefe D. I used to feel. Let me tell y'all something, right? Yo, when Keefe D first got booked for the Tupac shit, right? I felt bad for him. I did, yo. I'm like, damn, cause I was locked up with a guy that was in his 80s. He was like 80 something, yo. He could barely walk, yo. I'm talking about, yo, the guy took forever to get to child. Like, he would be the last person walking. Like, if it was a walk race, if it was a prison walkathon, that nigga would come in last. I'm trying to tell you, that's how slow he was. But he went on a run for like 30 something years. He escaped from like Eastern Shore or some shit. He still had a lot of time left. And by the time they caught him, he was like 80 something. Y'all can Google it if you think I'm bullshitting. He was like 80 something, right? And they kept him in jail. And it was sad to watch. I'm like, damn, they really got this old ass man in here, yo. Like, he probably got a good 3 years left or 3 days left. And they really locked you up because he got away from so long. Like, the nigga ain't been a danger to society in years. Whatever he did in the past was in the past. Like, he did completely transitioned out of that shit. But eventually they end up letting him out. You know, I think he probably set for like a year. But Keefe D, yo, it's like 60 something years old, got a whole bunch of heart problems and shit. So when I saying they booked him for Tupac murder, especially considering that I don't even think Tupac would want somebody booked for his murder. You know how he hated the police. So I was like, dang, that's fucked up, yo. Man, free Keefe D. But then once I got the details of how Keefe D was moving, I'm like, man, fuck Keefe D. For real. Like, what's up, K? Keefe D tried to set up Von Zip nephew. He tried to set Von Zip up. Keefe D got caught with PCP. Like, he didn't just only tell on himself and do interviews. No, throughout this whole investigation process, this nigga went back to New York, sat down with Von Zip before he died, tried to get Von Zip to implicate himself in the Tupac shit and basically admit that he got paid from Diddy. He never admitted nothing. I'm like, oh, you a slime ball ass nigga. I mean, he's a slime ball. He pulled a Sosa. Once you get in trouble, now you just got all the answers. Nah, man, fuck Keefe D. For real. Hope he ratting that bitch. You had to sit down with the police, become a queen for a day, thinking that you got full immunity, and you didn't. You only had fucking partial immunity, or I forgot the exact term. Writes a book. Go on interview after interview after interview to get locked the fuck up at the end of it. Now he on this bitch talking about, oh no, the book was fake. You know, wasn't a real book. Fuck out of here, Keefe.
Do you regret the book and the interview?
Yeah, I was just after the money, and they said I was covered. I did it for the money. You know what I'm saying? And
But did anyone tell you maybe it's not a good idea to do that because they might arrest you after they hear you say that or read it in your book? Like, did anyone close to you say, not a good idea?
that was the ghostwriters. I didn't write that book. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about Winston Churchill, Frank Sinatra. Just read the book. You know I didn't write that.
I don't think he wrote it either. That might be his way out. Dumb as he is, that nigga ain't write no motherfucking book. That bitch got a whole bunch of misspellings in it. You heard me? That bitch was a children's book, you know, as far as wordplay. That nigga ain't write no motherfucking book. I'm telling you, that might be his best defense, y'all. But the problem is he did the interviews. I don't know how he gonna make. He can say shit that was AI. You know, maybe he can say, I was told to say that in interviews. Who the fuck knows? But he's stupid as shit.
You know what I'm saying? And the black thing, the lady gave me $150,000.
But then when I was watching the interview this week.
Why they clip it? Why they clip it, yo? He probably said something stupid as fuck. They probably saved him. Yo, when he was ready to say about the 150,000, yo. Hold the fuck up, yo. I need to see the raw uncut footage. I need to hear that part.
The lady gave me $150,000.
But then when I was watching the interview this week, and the way you sort of go through it by play, like then this happened, it's very believable.
They wrote me a script to follow. My lawyer came with the script. It seemed like he was in bed with them the whole time.
When you were talking in this interview about Tupac's murder, and when you were doing this book, were you considering maybe his family at all?
No, I just did it for the money. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to feed my family. You know what I'm saying? But it's wrong. It's just wrong. I'm innocent.
Yo. This should be taught. Social media 101. Yo, don't just do it for the money, yo. In social media 101, 101. The first preliminary stages of social media. Like if they teach a course on that, number one rule: don't just do it for the money. You're gonna find yourself in a Keefe D type of situation. You know, BTB Savage. Bloodhound Lord Jeff. We can go on and on and on for days. If you do it for the money, you gonna fail, bro. I'm telling you. You better have some type of decorum with your shit.
It's just wrong. I'm innocent, man. And they said, yeah, Craig, I haven't been around that stuff since like 89. I stopped that stuff, pulled up my pants. I'm not no leader, no Crips, or none of that stuff. That's wrong. They just try to make their case look good or something. He's a leader of the Crips. He's way up there in the Crips. No, I'm not. There's no.
Hey, nigga. Yo, why you see yo? Don't give me the crazy. Yo, why you didn't do this in the interrogation room, bro? Like, yo, you had the opportunity to deny everything. You feel me? Like, you should have did it there, bro. If Keefe D did now, if Keefe D did back then what he's doing now, yo, he wouldn't even be in jail, yo. he wouldn't even. Yo, you could have saved yourself a lot of heartache and pain, bro. Like, yo, this shit is fucking hilarious, man. Yo, you way too old for this, Keefe. Yeah, you somebody grandfather, bro. Probably great grandfather at this point. Like, what? Yo, come on, bro. This is what we get, y'all.
Make their case look good or something.
Nigga said, I never been a leader of the Crips. I don't hog tie people. That nigga's like, Kelly. Oh, they said I hog tie people. They said I don't hog tie people. You did never been a leader of no Crips, man. Why you let them attach that to your name then, bro? You should have corrected that in real time.
They just try to make their case look good or something. He's a leader of the Crips. He's way up there in the Crips. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? There's no color line. I'm messing with Bloods, Crips, everybody.
Yeah, he reading the script. Kenneth, he is reading the script. That's why he keep looking over to the left. His lawyer probably got some flashcards. That's the only way he can talk. I mean, you see the type of shit he do when he unfiltered. You feel me? That nigga just gonna say anything. Yeah, that bitch with holding up them little signs and shit. Fucking poster boards.
I'm just one of the leader of the Crips. I helped somebody get that record company together. You know what I'm saying? And why would I kill the guy that's making us the most money? You know what I'm saying? That's a rapper back then. Why would I kill our money like that? It don't make sense. So I'm not going to tell you that I do.
Has the DA's office offered you any plea deals, and would you consider a plea deal?
I'm not going to take no plea deal because I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 63. I had a cancer battle. And I got 3 stents to my heart. And the average American lives to like 74 years old. 10 years, I'm dead. So, what I don't like taking to jail. You know what I'm saying? I heard.
Fuck no, yo, I'm done, yo. I'm done. Yo, this can't be real, yo. Yo, this cannot be real. Like, yo, somebody, where's Ashton Kutcher? So this gotta be like a series of punk. Yo, the man said, I'm 63 years old. You know, the average lifespan is 74, so why would I take a deal? What the fuck you talking about? You get found guilty, you gonna die anyway. Like you right, I guess you're right. Why should you take a deal? You know, any jail time past shit, 5 years maybe, you're gonna die in that bitch anyway, bro. You might as well take a deal to get this shit over with. At least you go to prison. You know, at least you get to, go to prison. You get to stretch out a little bit. You know, them jails be tight. You feel me? Yeah, they can try to get the fuck out of there, bro. You wasting these people time. You admitted to the crime, yo, on multiple platforms on several different occasions, bro. Like, wrote a book about this shit, my nigga. You ain't beating the case, bro. Like, just move on, yo. Take accountability, yo. Accept it.
Something 10 and 25. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? 74 years old. 10 years, I'm dead. So, what I don't like taking a deal. You know what I'm saying?
God might make that nigga live 103
10 and 25.
for being
I'm not
stupid.
gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna take a deal like that. And I have, especially after I haven't done nothing. I'm an innocent man.
How concerned are you that you'll be convicted after this trial and you won't get to spend your final years with your family?
Yeah, I think the Ninth Circuit Court is gonna let me go. I think they're gonna let me go because it's not right. I'm gonna be all right though.
So basically saying I'm gonna get found guilty. I know it. But we got a good chance on appeal. You probably do, yo. Hope you do.
You know I am this. Yeah. But
Suge Knight is a prosecution witness too. I don't know what they want from Suge Knight, but he's definitely testifying.
God, seriously, God. He know I am this. Yeah. And I hate I put my family in jeopardy like this.
Yeah, he reading the script.
So that's one
What's up, Candy?
regret I have.
Jury selection is scheduled for August 10th. Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
Yo, here go be read those script in court. They wrote up some cue cards for that nigga. Shit, I don't know, Dexter. Keefe D say he did it. He did it. He did another interview. Keefe D say he did it, yo. I'm inclined to believe him. That nigga had a hearing the other day. Let's check it out, yo. That shit probably is comedy. Keefe D hearing. We might not even get the Boosie tonight. We talking about Keefe D. Out this bitch. Then admitted to the crime. Now he saying he ain't do it.
Suspected of orchestrating the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur is set to start in Las Vegas. Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, was charged with murder and has pleaded not guilty. The trial begins almost 30 years after the hip-hop artist was killed in a drive-by shooting just outside the Las Vegas Strip.
My brother was murdered in '96. Spent 30 years. The optimism comes in for the simple fact that something has happened. They made an arrest. It's hard to be too optimistic at this point.
The cold case was revived after Dwayne Davis published a book.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think the judge gonna let them do that. The only issue is they just changed some language up. They didn't. It's not really a whole new indictment, so you never know. They just changed some of the language.
All right, guys, listen up. You want to look like $1 million without spending $1
Hey,
million?
Candy, make sure you subscribe to the
I found
channel,
the
man.
ultimate hack for you. Stop scrolling because this deal. Keefe's case for the murder of.
Yes, Your Honor. The court will recall the last time.
New attorney in action. At his latest new attorney in day. And here we got our first look at his latest new attorney in action.
Yes, Your Honor. If the court will recall, the last time it was Judge Booth that was handling the situation 2 weeks ago. We did have a file review with the state yesterday.
This was just a quick hearing to confirm that the prosecution is sharing all of their evidence with the defense, and there didn't appear to be any issues with that. Keefe was present in the courtroom and managed to keep his mouth shut. He has had at least a couple of outbursts at previous hearings.
Mr. Craig Hayes had them boxes at his house for 15 years in his attic, doing all kind of TV interviews. That the boxes should not be allowed in the cases. Tainted evidence, everything. The man, he broke a proffer agreement, and he broke the law, all kind of stuff. There's no way they did it. Yeah, it certainly would be. They're not only ugly on the outside, but they're ugly on the inside.
Yo, this is why you do not cooperate with the government. That could be another course. Like, it was so much you can learn from Keefe D case, yo. You never cooperate with these people. Keefe. Should have never did it, bro. Yeah, should not getting on that stand. Should not trying to come home. I'm trying to find, yo, he had some outbursts in court. I'm trying to find him. Here you go.
We have Mr. Arnold appearing for Mr. Davis, who's present in custody. Additionally, we have Mr. Jackal and Mr. Kowal for the state. This is on for defendant's motion for reconsideration and reinstatement of previous bond. It's also on for a status check discovery. And then I think the state could also file a counter motion for me to reconsider my ruling that there was not preventative presumption rate. Accurate? That's correct. All right. Mr. Arnold, your motion to reconsider and reinstate bond, I voided the bond on 6/24/24, so there's no bond posted. What is there to reinstate? How would that even work?
Yeah, he did, yo.
The bond bill.
Yeah, Pug told, man. He told. He know he told. You know, it ain't lead to nobody getting arrested, but he know he shouldn't have went in there and told them people what he told them people, man. Shouldn't have did that shit. Yo, I'm trying to find, yo, this nigga had some outbursts in court. I need to find them bitches so we can watch them. Keefe D speaks out from jail. Yeah. Yeah, Pug.
The brands you love. Match your vibe with over 40,000 products to choose from. Visit fragrance.com and discover discounts on all your favorites, or find your new summer scent to show off.
They're not only ugly on the outside, but they're ugly on the inside too.
Dwayne Keefe D. Davis lashing out at prosecutors during another hearing about releasing him on bail.
And you just shoot something in the boxes. They just shoot something in the boxes. From 1996.
Those boxes contain a 2006 interview from a gang member who prosecutors say implicates Davis in Shakur's murder.
Makes that statement 2 years before any confession the defendant ever made.
But speaking out of turn, Davis says he believes those boxes came from retired LAPD detective Greg Kading, who interviewed Davis as part of the investigation into the death of rapper Notorious B.I.G. In a recorded interview, Davis told Kading what happened in Shakur's case, believing he would have immunity.
Boxes should not be allowed. He's been in his house for 15 years, and he's doing interviews, going in the boxes.
While Tuesday's hearing centered on that new evidence, the main reason was Davis's bail, the judge denying Davis's first attempt over concerns the man putting up the more than $112,000 was really a middleman. She also said she was concerned Davis could profit off the alleged crime, but Davis's attorney says no law prevents that until a person is convicted.
Right now, his son, myself, even he can enter into a contract
Now we gotta find them outbursts. It's been a whole bunch of them. Keefe D outburst in court. Ain't fuck with the Star Report, dude. It'll be copyrights and motherfuckers copyright strikes and shit.
And then make that determination.
Check that on trial readiness.
See here, you can see it on any internet site agreement. He broke a proffer agreement, and he broke the law, all kind of stuff. Boxes should not be allowed. He's been in his house for 15 years, and he do interviews, going in the boxes. Let me see here, you can see it on any internet site that this man been going in the boxes for years. And he's a judge, federal judge in LA, did a 142-page.
Like the lawyer embarrassed. Like, man, shut the fuck up, Keefe. This ain't even a hearing for that.
Thing about him. Look it up on the internet.
I think what the state said ultimately is they don't think there's going to be anything in those boxes that they're going to use.
And you just use something in the boxes. They just used something in the boxes. From 1996. They know what they did.
Yeah, no, it's certainly we are.
They're not only ugly on the outside, but they're ugly on the inside. They crashed my family in this. They did my daughter first. They did my son. They just did my wife the last day. What's his name told me about these? David Westbrook told me about these dudes. He said they're not only ugly on the outside, but they're ugly on the inside too. These two dudes right here.
Keefe D wilding out. All right, so Boosie did an interview. He discussed the situation with the fucking with them people he let scam. Boosie sat down with Ricky Smiley. Boosie shouldn't have done no more interviews. I know Vlad probably laughing at that shit.
Scrolling out Instagram, bro. It's bigger than the police. All y'all podcasters, not all of them, but YouTubers and people on Instagram, y'all the golden egg to the investigator. All they gotta do is hashtag your page, hashtag who they want to hear about, and build their case. Y'all go into depth, into detail, saying names, saying stuff about crimes. Like, it's sad, bro.
You just realized that, nigga?
Do it make you sleep better at night? Like, why are we so happy in the world with someone's downfall? Interviewers, like, why ask somebody a question they can get them murdered?
What? Hey, Boosie. Come on, bro. We're not doing that, y'all. See, this is this shit. Yo, let me tell you something my man told me, right? And I agree. Yo, a lot of these, like, older rappers, yo, they don't know how to use the internet. They either underuse it or overuse it. You understand what I'm saying? Because both ways it hurts you. Boosie is one of the guys that's overusing the internet. Like, yo, how are you gonna get on here and say, yo, you just was fucking with Vlad for 72 years? The world has been accusing, the community has been accusing Vlad of asking police-ass questions for 10 years now. You've been rocking with him for 7. How you gonna say this, bro? How are you gonna say this?
Why ask somebody a question they can get them 50 years to life in prison? me a Ricky Smiley interview, bro. Like, this shit bigger than the police. This shit is bigger than the police. Police would be looking way somewhere else. Y'all gonna put them right there. It's sad.
Yo, I'm over this bitch baffled. Like, I can't believe this nigga. Like, yo, you serious, bro? You just was interviewing with one of the biggest police online. Like, yo, Boosie, yo, that's how you tell, yo, Boosie, that's how you can tell. Yo, Boosie don't have no real niggas in his corner, yo. You can't, bro. It's impossible. And when I mean real niggas, I mean niggas that's gonna speak their mind and don't give a fuck what's gonna happen after that. They don't care about your feelings. Like, prime example. I just had this whole situation with my homeboys about this pug shit. I'm ready to tell you. I just had a whole conversation with my homeboy about this pug shit. Right? Initially, I was saying, yo, he ain't tell, yo. He ain't send nobody to jail. Nobody got arrested. The guy that they say he told on, don't say he told on. Now, the paperwork says otherwise. So my man is telling me, yo, you select a politicking, y'all. You select a politicking, y'all. Man, what it is? Like, yo, you know he did wrong, bro. You know he did wrong. You know, if you was in that paperwork, if you was involved in that case, and he wrote that shit on you, and he said that on you, you would say he told. Now, deep down, I know what it is. And he ain't back down from it. I'm trying to make all the explanations in the world. Yo, but he ain't send nobody to jail. Yo, it's hard to call a nigga a snitch when he ain't send nobody to jail, which is true. Yo ain't get arrested, which is true. But he could have. This is my man telling me. Yo, but he could have, yo. They just ain't want him. But that don't mean he ain't tell. Another nigga called me. Same shit. Yo, you moving the goalpost, bro. And me, deep that, and it ain't, with me, it ain't even really about I was moving the goalpost. It's like, yo, my job on this internet isn't to fucking slander niggas. That's not what I'm doing. That ain't my role. That ain't what I'm on. But a lot of people confuse that Sosa video as that, and it wasn't that. It just is an update on Sosa, and he happened to be telling. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't no, yo, I got paperwork, yo, that give it to me. I'm gonna show the world here, right? No, it wasn't that. You know, it's a different mentality. It's a different mind frame. But at the same time, I got a level of integrity that I stand on and how I conduct my platform. And my platform is built on realism. It ain't no picks. It ain't no cut cards. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? And bringing this back to Boosie, yo, Boosie gets on this internet and say some of the most contradictory things ever. Like, yo, how can you say that it's police on this internet solving cases and it's crazy to you? But when niggas was calling Vlad the police, you backed them 100% until y'all fell out. If I was Boosie and I was doing interviews with Vlad, them same homeboys would have been on my ass about that shit. Yo, you know that nigga sending niggas to jail, bro. You know that nigga asked police ass questions, y'all. I wouldn't be then in turn be able to get on live and say this without being looked at as crazy. Like, yo, is you fucking serious? Like, niggas would be calling me. Yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, you ain't just upload no video talking about it's police online and you been doing Vlad TV interviews for 7 years, bro. What the fuck type shit you on? You on some bullshit, my nigga. I don't think Boosie got that round him, man. I think Boosie removes that from him. Like a lot of these rappers. You know, they want yes men. They don't want real stand-up guys. Like the group of friends that I be around, we gonna tell you what it is, regardless of your feelings, yo. I respect that 100%. Don't lie to me, bro. Like my man could easily back down and say, yeah, you right, you know, he ain't sent nobody to jail. But he stood on it. Stood on it so much that I had to reflect and be like, damn, right. I am being selective. And it's not because of who the person is. Yeah, but it's kind of bigger than that though, bro. Like, you know, on the surface it is that Vlad asks questions and people can answer. Yo, but these guys, like a Vlad, yo, they know they hold weight. They know. All right, hold on. My fucking Keefe. Hold up. They know they hold weight. They know, just like you know, as the person that's being interviewed, that the people want to hear nonsense. The people want to hear about crimes. The people want to hear about shootings. The people want to hear about if you really lived in the streets or still currently in the streets. That's what the people want to hear about. So it's a fight, a mental fight. You know, do I say what I know he want me to say and possibly shoot to the moon? But I could go to jail. I could get killed. But I can shoot to the moon. This man got 5 million followers, maybe 6 or 7 by this point. Or do I hold back and not say what I know they want me to say? And now I ain't getting another interview. Now it's like it's basically almost like I built it myself up till I got on the radar of these people that can take me to the next level. I just ain't say what was supposed to be said. Now I'm back at square one. Yo, that's a tough decision to make, bro. So I would recommend, if I was in that position, that I wouldn't even put people in that position. If I was in the position of a Vlad or a Say Cheese or any one of these people that got millions of followers, I'm not going to bring an artist on my platform and put you in a position to have to make that decision. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, ultimately, it's up to the interviewer. But yo, you can't just totally just not hold the interviewee as you know, with some type of responsibility. You can't do that. I think it's probably 60-40. I would actually put more. Especially you gotta realize too, yo, you dealing with a lot of these guys are ignorant. I just told a dude the other day, a Baltimore content creator. Yeah, they do target the dummies. You're right. I just was talking to a Baltimore content creator, right? About another guy that do content. And I was telling him like, yo, shorty dangerous, bro. Stay the fuck away from him. He dangerous. Yo, once a person choose clout and clout chasing, it's no friends. Like that's how deep clout chasing is, yo. Like that shit is vicious. That shit like envy or jealousy or hate. You put clout chasing on the same level internally, mentally, as envy, jealousy, and hate. And we know what happens when we know what people that harbor those type of feelings toward another person will do. You understand what I'm saying? If a person is envious or jealous or hate another person, we know what that person is willing to do to that other person. So if you friends with a content creator and you start seeing them move down that clout chasing lane, man, stay the fuck away from them. They ain't friends no more. That nigga run content on you in a heartbeat, nigga, because at that point, it ain't about nothing but you clout chasing. And when you clout chasing, it comes a time when you're gonna have to weigh your integrity versus the clout, and clout gonna win 98% of the time. 98% of the time, yo, motherfucker gonna say fuck integrity, fuck morals, fuck principles, and chase clout, yo. So I had to tell a person that, like, ain't no he my man. Nah, Hanks nigga ain't your man. That boy chasing it, boy. I'm trying to tell you, that boy chasing that shit hard. Yeah, people let get them likes. Yeah, man. People, man, I don't know, yo. Once a nigga choose that route, and I ain't gonna lie, and it's hard to fight. Man, clout. Nah, I can't even say that, bro. Yo, you gotta be a strong motherfucker to resist that shit, man. For real. Like, that shit ain't no joke. You do a video and that bitch get a million views. If I was to do a video, and I ain't gonna say me because I can fight it. But if a person do a video on highlighting gun violence in the community, like a DJU or on a couch TV or one of them niggas, and that bitch do a million, yo, that next video he put out gonna look just like that. Cause he trying to chase that million again. And chase it again. And chase it again. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it takes a rare breed of person to be like, all right, I got a million with that, but I don't wanna go that route. I don't wanna go that route. I don't like where that route leads. So yeah, all right, good. I got the million on that video, but I'm still taking my platform this way. Yo, that's a hard thing to do, yo. What it is. Big bro, what it is. Come back, 83, what it do? That's a hard thing to do, man. I'm keeping it all the way real. I've been in that for 5 years. I know it's hard. You know what I mean? For the longest time, though, YouTube tried to put me in the Baltimore algorithm. And the way they did it was every video I did on Baltimore went crazy. You know what I did? Transitioned out of that. If I gotta sacrifice my views and my money, that's what I'm gonna have to do, yo, because that's not the angle I'm trying to go. Yeah, I speak on my city. Yeah, I cover stories, but I can't have my whole platform based around Baltimore because where is that gonna get me in the long run? Baltimore's a small place, man. Ain't a whole lot of people. Niggas don't even hit the like button. You feel me? Niggas ain't subscribing to none of that. Man, hell yeah. You gotta be yourself, yo. That's why we living in a world where, everybody wanna mimic. Everybody wanna mimic the next person, Nah. Take your own route, man. Go your own way. But yeah, Boosie wild as shit. I can't believe you said that. And I'm sure some niggas in the background listening, looking at him crazy, but ain't gonna say a goddamn thing. Ain't gonna say a damn thing to him. So sleep the motherfucking India, man. India got all dirt kids together. India Royal brings all of their baby mamas and kids together for a family vacation. Man, sleep to India, man. Straight up, man. Dirk got hella motherfucking kids. See the India, man, holding down the voice, man. You know, a lot of these rap niggas, they start thinking that they're above reproach. You know, they get money and think that nobody can question nothing they do, and they always right. I can't be around them type of people, man. Me and them type of people don't mix.
Skip to, I got 3 months left. So my life is in the judge hands, right? And 3 months left on what? 3 months left until I'm going. Skip to, I got 3 months left.
All right, now we can stop right here.
Skip to, I got 3 months left. So my life is in the judge hands, right? And 3 months left on what? 3 months left until I'm going for sentencing. I wasn't gonna fight that. I wasn't going to try to fight the charge. I wasn't going to try to fight the charge because at that time I did arm myself. Right. I'm in a gangbanging neighborhood shooting a video in the alley. I armed myself for 30 minutes, but I still armed myself. So I wasn't going to try to fight this in court. So now I'm gonna trust in God. Yeah. What they say, 5 to 10 years. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah. So I got 3 months. So now I'm scrambling. What I'm gonna do? Right. That's when they came. We can do this. We can do that. Well, how much?
Boosie lying, y'all. Yo, that was not 3 months. That was not 3 months when it was evident that Boosie wasn't going to prison for all that time. We read the paperwork. That was probably like 6 months before he caught. I mean, matter of fact, that shit might have been down there a year. 8 months at least before he caught his time. Who remember we read that paperwork where the judge said, yo, Boosie he only facing up to 2 years in prison? Yo, that was not 3 months before his sentencing, man. That was months before his sentencing. See, he's trying to justify his way out of. Y'all, you remember? Yeah, he trying to justify his way out of just admitting, yo, I ain't want to go to jail. I was scared to death. I didn't even want to go to jail for a day. A year, nothing. 8 months, nothing. So I reached out to these people. I wish I could find the paperwork. I got it. But I'm going to have to go through hella fucking messages and shit. And it probably take forever. It's probably slow the whole live up. But I know just based off of memory that shit wasn't no motherfucking 3 months, bro. That shit was not no 3 months. That shit was like 6 to 8. Let's see if we can Google it. California judge says Boosie is facing 2 years in prison.
According to ThisAdvocate.com, San Diego, California, in a shocking twist during Thursday's hearing, a California judge presented Baton Rouge rapper Boosie with what many legal analysts are calling a sentence or exile ruling: 2 years in federal prison or immediate relocation back to Baton Rouge.
I don't remember nothing about Baton Rouge, man, in there. No, that's not real. He pled guilty in August. was sentenced in. Oh, that was time served. In January, he was sentenced in January. He pled guilty in August. She said that shit before that. Yeah, so look. He pled guilty knowing he was only facing 2 years, bro. So that wasn't no fucking 3 months, bro. You fucking lying, my nigga. You lying. Lying like a bitch. Like, oh, come on, yo. Like, oh, just admit you was scared, bro. That's the shit I be talking about with niggas. They just admit you was scared, bro. You didn't want to go to jail, bro. Not even 90 days. You that shit wasn't no motherfucking 3 months, man. That shit was like 6 months. Cause she told him this. If she told him this before August. Before August, she told him she wasn't going to sentence that man in no crazy time. They didn't get sentenced till January. Man, fuck it.
Much. Okay, I ain't tripping on the money because I'm gonna get that back. Yeah. I'm a hustler. Right. I sent them $600,000. If they didn't have the money back if they didn't have my pardon by January 31st, they had to send me my money back. 300,000. Okay, 300,000, and you send me 300,000 back. Right. Right before that, right before the deadline, I went to court. God come through again. Wait a minute now. What you mean? They say you ain't going to jail. Give him 3 months. Give him 3 years probation. Never heard of. Lady say, give him to walk off this set. This the same lady threw the charge out at first. So the federal government picked it up, picked the charge that she threw out, and brought it back. So now you this lady in the courthouse. That's how God works. And they talk about mandatory. That lady say 3 years probation. I try to talk. She say, I don't even want to hear it, Mr. Oh my God. I'm trying to explain. I'm thinking I'm finna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. But I trusted in God. I say, God. And that night before, I had a dream that I was walking out the courtroom. So when I woke up that morning, I put that suit on. I had a clean blue suit. Man, I put that suit on. I was smiling the whole time. I put my mafia glasses on. I was finna walk in there with the mafia glasses.
Yeah, Boosie lying. Nigga, judge told you that shit in August, nigga. You talking about they came 3 months before. They came 3 months. In August, she made it clear that you wasn't getting no more than 2 years, bro. So August, September, October, November, December. You saying in December they came, but it was already understood that you wasn't getting no more than fucking 2 years. So you gave these motherfuckers $600,000 to duck a 2-year bit, nigga. You be talking and you be acting like you on some gangster shit, bro. No, yo, that ain't gangster, bro. I'm sorry, yo. Now, when they was talking 15, oh hell yeah, shit, yeah, 600,000. You give me a pardon and take that. Oh, but they talking 2 years, bro. Man, fuck no, you just was on some scared ass shit, nigga. You don't need to be rapping no gangster shit no more, cause obviously that shit is not in you, and I don't blame you. Shit, that shit ain't in me either. You feel me? But I ain't out here. I ain't no rapper. Talking about spinning and drilling and all that shit. I'm just a nigga that say, yo, if that's what you say you gonna stand on it. You feel me? When I was on it, I had to stand on it. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. I'm a nigga that say you can't live your whole life gangster and then some gangster shit happen to you and you claim civilian. No, you can't do that. Nope, that shit don't work. That's not how. No, that's not cool at all. You can't be rapping gangster for 40 years, yo, and then become a victim of the same lyrics you put out and then snitching. They be like, I'm saying, well, he 40 now. Nope. Nope. Heartmo, what it do? But yeah, I was gonna do a video about Moose and not Moose, but Boosie and Meek Mills. Yo, cause them niggas, you know, I did a video a couple days ago about Meek Mills and how he tried to take credit for Scholar, like he put Scholar on. Yo, I'm starting to think that them niggas, them industry niggas that be fucking with Baltimore rappers, they only fucking with Baltimore rappers, yo, cause Baltimore is loyal to their rappers. And that's like the easiest way to secure a fan base. I don't, cause it never materialized. Like nothing never comes from it. You see the rapper with these niggas, you see our rappers with these niggas for a certain amount of time, and that's it. It just fades away. You know, them niggas don't put these niggas on their albums or nothing. They might do a few songs with them, but you'll never catch them on the album. I'm sure Keefe D ain't write that book. He ain't got to tell me that. I can tell by how he think he ain't write that book. And man, I'm sure he probably narrated it. You know, narrating it is the same as writing. You know, I hope he can get out of it that way. But yeah, yo, Meek Mill was talking about he put Scholar on basically. Like, no, you dead, nigga. Scholar put himself on, bro. He still ain't even all the way on yet. You know, but the work that he put in to get where he at, man, he did that shit on his own, man. Meek Mills ain't helped that man with that shit. And Boosie ain't did shit for Moose either. You know what I mean? When Boosie came home, he could have had Moose on every album. That nigga wasn't doing nothing. You heard me? That nigga might do a song with him, and any song that shit goes on Moose album. Hey, I've never answered that question, bro. Answered that question twice already, bro. Yeah, I think the judge gonna toss that out. But it's not the same as the third superseding indictment because they're not actually adding new charges. They just fixing some language that's in the previous indictment. So they don't really have to do anything to prepare for that outside of what they already prepared for. So if you do decide to keep it, that'll be the reason why. Yeah, that'll be the reason why. But y'all, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's another day. Keep it new.